Just to know. I took pity on Alison C. in 1981. She had a schizophrenic brother. His bizarre behaviour was deeply upsetting to her. I knew what she meant, because there had been quite a few schizophrenics at the clinic. Their behaviour was both irrational and upsetting to everyone around them. I assumed Alison would stay with me a few months until either her brother's condition stabilised or he committed suicide by taking a late night swim to America or playing chicken with cars on the motorway. Things continued pretty much unchanged. We went for late night walks, raked through skips, and all the other things that a chap does in his mid-20s. Things seemed perfectly normal, till one day working at GCVS, when we had to run around in a trust exercise, and I found my legs working strangely. There was nothing else until I got laid off from GCVS. Within 2 weeks I found I had problems walking. I saw my doctor and he referred me to a neurologist. The neurologist asked me about my medical history. Never had a day's illness in my life, apart from a mental condition. Tell me about it, the neurologist said. Told him about my bladder problem in 1973. A bladder problem can be a classical first symptom of multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed as having MS in 1992. Alison told me she did not think like me. Everything was slow with her. She was apparently naive. For example, she told me that as a child she went to a kiddies party. There was a plate of sweeties in the middle of the table. Alison ate them all, not realising they were for everyone. She cited this as a major childhood embarrassment. She further went on to describe a later time when she was maybe 13 or 14 at a disco. The DJ said, "I want all the virgins to put their hands up," and Alison did, not realising her school friends would treat this comment in the spirit it was intended, as a joke, not to be responded to. She broke both my big toes by accidentally pushing my wheelchair into a wall. Turn off on the road was about 5 yards ahead. She claimed it was an easy enough mistake to make. Autistic spectrum disorder. I reckon she was an autist. When we got home and for the next few weeks, she called me a whinging, whining old woman for saying my toes hurt. There was another incident when my cuff got caught in a door. She continued pushing my wheelchair when my arm was behind my back and I was howling in pain. I had never heard of autistic spectrum disorder. It was quite out with my experience. How wrong I was about Alison. 22 years later, when I really needed Alison, she moved out and said she'd sleep with lots of guys, assuming I was the same as her, then left me in the care of care companies. Never take pity on an underdog. It might turn round and bite. I got a cat called Sekhmet. For 13 years she slept 2 or 3 times did she sleep with Alison. Alison, who was a jealous sort, even broke Secky's back when she died to put her in her box. She even stood on Secky's cardboard box in her grave to push it down. Possibly Alison knew I was watching. That is why she did it. Alison was insanely jealous, but Secky was a cat. A dead cat. The end.
We take it in turns to answer, and sometimes pretend we're old. We don't go out if we can avoid it. Sometimes people come to repair things on the influencer. They look around the place and at us. We look back at them. Sometimes we talk and give them tea. Sometimes we don't talk to each other for days.